Hello friends, today we will discuss the perils that you may encounter if you engage in an extramarital affair during your divorce. Welcome back to the Divorce Broadcast. My name is Manny Segarra, coming to you from Miami, Florida. Now, before we get started, I just have to say that generally it's a bad idea for you to engage in an affair either right before you file for divorce or during your divorce proceedings. If you choose that route, I want to discuss several of the perils that may befall you. Starting with the emotions, they will overtake your case. Once your spouse finds out that you have betrayed them or engaged in this affair, this may cause everything to boil over, and there will be definitely a lot of heated discussions. Secondly, the animosity that will be injected in the proceedings will probably make things more difficult. It will be more difficult to figure out an agreement, and it will definitely be more difficult figuring out the issues with your children. This leads us to the next point, which is that the negotiations may be compromised or made more difficult, because if one party is thinking with their heart instead of their head, it may complicate the case unnecessarily. Next, prepare for the fallout from both your family and friends and your spouse's family and friends. You will have to answer a lot of questions from both camps, and you may become villainized on the camp of your spouse. Next, this information will probably get back to your work colleagues as well. You may become the talk of the coffee break area or the water cooler. People will be speaking about your situation, and you may have to explain yourself to them as well. Finally, the news of the affair may get back to your kids, and it may be devastating to them. So this is something where definitely could hurt some of the people that you care about most. The first area in which a court can consider an affair would be if the court is determining whether or not to award alimony in the case. While an affair is not a direct factor in determining alimony, it may indirectly affect the financial resources of the parties. For example, the spouse that is seeking alimony can claim that the spouse has caused financial harm from the affair. Additionally, the spouse committing adultery may claim that they cannot pay alimony despite the fact that they were engaging in the affair, and that's going to put them in a bad spot if it is proved that the spouse engaging in the affair wasted marital funds on either jewelry, exorbitant jewelry, as gifts for the person they're engaging in the affair with, or if they paid for their new boyfriend or girlfriend's rent, mortgage payment, or utilities, if they went on expensive vacations, or if they spent money on anything else that a court would consider wasteful. That may be used against them when determining if they have the ability to pay alimony. So if you're engaging in an affair, be careful where you spend your money. Speaking of money, let's talk about the second area that may be affected by an affair, which would be the division of marital property. Specifically, Florida is an equitable distribution state, which means that the marital assets and liabilities are divided by the divorce court in Florida fairly, not necessarily equally. So if it is proven that the spouse engaging in the affair either wasted or dissipated either money or other marital assets, then the other spouse may be awarded more of the marital assets in order to offset those losses. So it's very important that if an affair arises during a divorce proceeding, that both sides are aware of the finances and the financial statements, so that equitable distribution can be modified accordingly. And now let's talk about the third area in which an affair can have an effect on your divorce proceedings. That is with regard to child custody and a parenting plan. Remember that in Florida, the court determines custody and parenting time based upon the best interest of the children. If the affair leaks out to your kids and it has a negative effect on them or a negative impact on them, causing them great anxiety or a great emotional distress, you are not going to look good in front of a court. Also, according to Florida Statute 61.13, 13, there are several factors that the court will consider when trying to figure out a parenting plan. One of them is the capacity and disposition of each party to act upon the needs of the children instead of the needs of themselves. If it is found out that you are engaging in an extramarital affair and hanging out with your new boyfriend or girlfriend instead of spending time with your kids, that can look really bad. Another factor is the moral fitness of the parents, and we don't know what the court or the specific judge assigned to your case will think when they find out about the affair and how it may have affected the children. So be very careful. And finally, the demonstrated knowledge, capacity, and disposition of each parent to be informed about the circumstances of the minor child, including but not limited to their friends or teachers, school, daycare providers, and daily activities. If it is shown that you are out and about, if you're hanging out on the beach or at the nightclub, or if you're going on vacation with the person that you're engaging in this affair with, instead of taking your kids, little Johnny or little Jenny, to the doctor or to football practice or ballet, if you're engaging in this other type of activity, then it may come back to bite you. So be careful with that. Having said all this, those are the three areas. Just kind of to recap, in Florida, affairs may affect divorce proceeding in three different areas, which would be in the court's determination of alimony, in the court's equitable distribution, and finally in the court determining a parenting plan and time sharing schedule for the children. Remember that each case is different, each jurisdiction is different, so I invite all of you to look to see how an affair may affect your particular jurisdiction, wherever your case may be. If you do know someone that is dealing with this type of issue, have them reach out to us at www.segarralawfirm.com. We have offices in Miami and Orlando, Florida. Se habla español. Please do us a favor and like this video, subscribe to the divorce broadcast, and if you know anyone that needs some advice on the perils of engaging in an affair right before or during divorce proceedings, share this video with them. Thank you.